Live from Penn State's campus, this is Nittany Talk. I'm Jacqui Clair, and in today's episode, we're going to discuss the most exciting moments from the 94th Annual Academy Awards, laugh at some of our favorite prank videos, and dive into our newest segment discussing our pop culture moment of the week. Now, let's get to talking. Welcome back to Nittany Talk. My co-hosts Courtney Green, Niceiry Marizan, Collin Green, and I will be discussing some of the best highlights that occurred at the Oscars. So guys, what moment stuck out to you?
Well, I would like to start off with Encanto as the best picture movie and animated movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm not because I feel like that movie has just swept over with everybody. The soundtrack is amazing, the storyline, the diversity, the culture, everything.
Yeah, I know my little sister keeps on playing that soundtrack in our car, so I know it's a hit amongst like the younger kids.
Your little
us,
sister,
too.
I keep playing the soundtrack. I'm a little kid, I'm still loving it. It's a great movie, and it's great messaging. I even thought all the other movies in that category were fabulous too, so I wasn't surprised Encanto won because I feel like it's been generating a lot of buzz on like TikTok and everything. But even the movie Luca, I was rooting for them too.
Yeah,
they just are great.
Yeah, no, I'm not shocked by Encanto at all, but I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on Megan's, verse, and we don't talk about Bruno.
Yes. I mean, I know for me, it definitely caught me off guard. I would say I liked it a lot. It was very catchy, a good bop, but in a kid's song, I was kind of like, whoa, Meg Thee Stallion featuring.
Right.
It was an interesting choice. So
in her TikTok, like she documents like kind of her life, and she calls it like hot girl,
Mm-hmm.
and like the vibe. Anyways, they called her up like last minute, according to her on her TikTok, that like she was gonna perform. So she wasn't sure if her dress was gonna get there in time, but it did. She looked great. I love the color.
Yeah.
How do you guys think about it?
She looked great.
Megan always looks good.
No, she is such a girl boss. Love her. She always looks good. Her body, her outfit, her hair, makeup, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all seen that? I think she does her own makeup sometimes. So she's really good at it. Yeah, she's really good at it. I don't know if she does it for the awards, but she's always killing it.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
I know moving on to my favorite, I would say Coda was my personal favorite, and I was really excited to see them take home the win for Best Picture.
Yes, I was shocked that they beat Dune though. I'm not gonna lie, like only because the budget for Coda was only 10 million, which honestly is still a lot, but Dune's was 165 million, and they were up for 10 Oscars. They swept 6 of those categories, but then again, I was really happy to see Coda. They also won Best Actor in a Supporting Role with Troy Kohlser. What do you guys think about that?
I thought that was really moving, and I liked how everyone did their applause with the deaf hand signal for applause. It was really moving to hear him give a speech even through the translator. It was very impactful moment. I know leading up to the Oscars, I was trying hard to watch all the nominations for Best Pictures, and I was really rooting for that one to win because I just thought it was a beautiful story of their family, and I think that she was a great, phenomenal singer too. She deserved a lot of attention. If you haven't seen it, I recommend checking it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely gonna make history.
Was there anything that you guys thought deserved to win and didn't get that recognition?
Not me personally. I thought that Cinderella deserved to win the best costume design. I really was excited about that. I liked it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? To kind of tie in our first 2 topics, I realized that Encanto didn't win Best Music, and like we just said, everybody has been obsessed with the soundtrack.
Yeah,
and then
Billie Eilish took that home, right?
Yeah, with No Time to Die.
Yeah, but the best, I think soundtrack was the category, but Dune won that.
Yes, they did.
I actually haven't been out to see Dune, but watching the Oscars, I was writing a list in my head of like, what do I need to watch now?
Did you see Timothée Chalamet's outfit for
Oh,
that?
he looked very good.
The
very
jacket
good.
was like Louis Vuitton women's wear. Like, which is so funny. They just took it right off the runway. And no shirt underneath, which
No
I love.
shirt.
It was
I thought
definitely
it was
an
adorable.
out there outfit, and which I think is why a lot of people remember it. And I like those kind of like out there types of outfits that not everyone's wearing, because I feel like a lot of the men kind of don't play it. They play it safe a little
Yeah, I thought
They
Shawn
do.
Mendes played it really safe. I was surprised he was there considering his music, but yeah, it was just a tux. You know, I thought they could have done something better considering he was covered by Vanity Fair, but
sure.
He always looks handsome. You know, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, sure.
hate
What would
to
you
play
say
the-
some of your favorite women's wear was?
Zendaya. I mean, Larew, every single time that girl is invited to an award show, an after party, whatever have you, she always looks phenomenal.
And it
Yeah,
looks
every time.
effortless. You know, she
Exactly.
could wear a rag and she would probably look just
No,
as fine.
literally. I think it's her like posture, her stature, like
Mhm.
everything about her, the way she carries herself. Anything she wears, it's going to look great on her.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite was Lily James.
Oh my
I
gosh,
don't know.
yes.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I love the
pink.
dress, the pink.
Mhm.
Yes, love the color. Love the
It
color.
was so pretty. She wore pink, and so did Zoe Kravitz. I loved her dress. I thought it was so old Hollywood. Her and Addison Rae both looked really good. It was like, you know, like very just elegant. It wasn't really an Instagram like boutique kind of look, which Sweetie wore, and I didn't really like her look. I was leaning more towards Zoe Kravitz, you know, Nicole Kidman. I liked like the very elegant long dresses that were like full coverage, but just for the Oscars, I think it would have been very different for the MTV like Music Awards.
What did you guys think about the hosts?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
And Amy Schumer with the nice save after the slap heard around the world. What do we want to talk about?
Yeah.
I feel like we can't talk about the Oscars and not mention that.
The one
iconic-
highlight. Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like it was deserved because Jada has alopecia,
Mhm.
and he, you know, was like, "Oh yeah, I'll make this joke. I'll go
Yeah,
for
the
it.
G.I.
It's
Joe
gonna
joke.
be funny."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny, and
No.
then Will was like, "Yeah, don't say my wife's name. Don't make jokes about it."
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like it was warranted for those situations.
That's
Some
fair.
people were like wondering if it was fake or if it was real, but I think it was real.
When
I mean,
it first
he
happened, I
apologized
thought
for it.
my cable turned off. The sound cut out, and I was like, "What's happening?" And then I realized, and I was like, "Oh, dang!"
No, when I first saw it, I thought it was scripted. I was like, there's no way, because it happened so casually too. Will just kind of like
Strolled up
walked.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just, nobody stopped him. Nobody did anything afterwards. He just walked right up and walked right back.
Definitely.
So I
And then
thought
he
it was
won
staged.
an award right after.
Yes.
For King Richard. Yep.
Yes.
And he kind of tried to tie the award speech into what had just happened, saying he was a fierce defender of his loved ones and things. He
Yeah.
really definitely made it work out into his benefit
Yeah.
for him. But he did recently put out an apology, so I think he's kind of regretting his actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think? Like, was it too violent? Some people are saying that they didn't like the force.
I would say that like a lot, and I saw a lot of people comment this kind of thing on Twitter, like on both ends. The joke wasn't funny, but it was also not an appropriate way to handle it.
Yeah, I can't believe a PR person didn't like say, you know, she has like alopecia.
Yes, but
Like,
that
I was
concludes
just- I don't
our
know.
discussion for today. So stay tuned for the next segment where we react to our funniest prank videos. Welcome back to Nittany Talk. In honor of April Fool's Day today, we're going to react to some of our funniest prank videos.
Confusing my husband again.
Can you help me out around the house somewhere, please?
Bro, I help you every day.
You really don't.
What you mean I don't? I help you do everything.
No,
What you talking
it's
about?
just like, can you wash your own hiccups sometimes? And when's the last time you put sauce on the calendar? Exactly. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, I'm trying to potty train Doritos, and it just seems like all these situations are intentional. And yes, stop doing that when I'm talking to you. That's really rude. And I hate when you make those.
Who submitted that one?
That was me.
Oh my goodness. You want to
That
walk
was
us through
me.
that selection a little bit?
Yeah, so I just thought it was really funny because she was just throwing in random words at her husband. I know at some point she was like, you just don't help around the house. Like, I just be trying to potty train the Doritos. So it's not supposed to make sense. And he's just like so lost.
His face, he looks so confused.
Yeah, he's like, what are you talking about? Because she's throwing in the most random words. And at the end, she just goes, and you're just on your game too much. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's where I draw the line.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's super funny.
Let's see the next
They
one.
have a really cute baby. Oh
Right?
my gosh.
The whole
Yeah.
time I was looking at the baby's face.
Yeah, it's like, what is going
Very
on?
cute.
Yeah, babies are like just always held hostage.
Ooh, what do we got here?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Kaden.
Oh, that's rude.
Oh. We filming
You're
videos.
wrong for that.
What? We ain't do nothing wrong. You can't just sit on mannequins like that.
Did you sit on him?
Nah, she didn't sit on me.
Let's go.
Huh?
Come on. Let's
What
go.
you mean?
Oh, you gotta leave.
I didn't even do no sit with my cousin.
Come on.
Man.
Okay, how you playing, okay?
I will.
He must have got kicked out of the store for that one.
I think
Who
he did.
submitted that?
I submitted that one.
I
I thought it was so funny. The little girl, she walked right up to it. She was going to sit down. She was like, I'm not trying to be mean. She was so confident. And the guy was like, ah. It was
That probably
really
is
funny.
scarring for a child, honestly.
Why was she trying to sit on the mannequin?
I don't know. She's like trying to
That was
sit in
my
his lap
question.
like it was Santa. So I thought it
Lesson
was
learned,
really
I
funny.
guess. Lesson learned.
Yeah, those
She
are
might-
always hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, if I saw that in person, I don't know what I would have done.
I might have to buy a morph suit and try that out.
Can you imagine?
Definitely.
Hey, Quincy, we need to get your nuts chopped off today. What do you think?
Oh, goodness. That's a feisty dog.
No.
Did you submit that?
Yeah, so that was mine. So essentially, he was talking into the thing, and I think he was like, "Oh, we need to go on less walks or have like less treats or something." And then, he played it to the dog, and the dog was like, "Yeah, no, that's not what we're gonna do." And I thought that was so funny because dog videos, for one, are just really funny to
Who
watch.
doesn't
Yeah.
love a
Yeah.
dog?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, my friends send me dog videos all the time. I'm obsessed with dogs, but I don't ever, I've never had my own. So I always get the videos, and I get so many of these where like the dog just randomly attacks.
I wish you could talk to your dog. Like,
Same.
that would be
Yeah.
a vibe.
Same.
How,
Oh.
when, and where, please?
What? How? What happened?
How, where is first question. How, when, and where, please?
Sorry. I'm from London.
Hello, I'm from Japan.
Okay.
Yes. You have funny accent.
Oh, do I?
How you call it, your accent?
I'd probably say Cockney. Cockney.
Cockney?
Cockney. Yeah.
Cockney.
This interview really makes me laugh. You have to watch the full thing on YouTube to really do it justice. It's basically a prank interview with Adele. So the interviewer is not actually a Japanese woman, and she knows Adele very well. And it's just very amusing because Adele has no idea what's going on, and she's just asking her so many like invasive questions. It's very amusing. I would recommend watching the full thing on YouTube.
Yeah, no, she seems very confused.
When I first saw it on TikTok, I thought it was like a real like interview, and I was
Oh.
like, what? Like, this is so interesting. I would never ask that. But no, it's fake, so rest assured.
Gotcha.
You guys got any pranks planned to use yourself this April Fool's Day?
Ooh,
I think they
You're
have
giving me
something.
ideas.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got some ideas. I might get the morph suit. I think I'm gonna have to try that one out.
Show
for
up at the
sure.
local Target.
Yeah, I
Oh.
can definitely do that.
Well, that's actually happened
or
to
one
me
of
in
those
like
ones with
real life.
Yeah.
On spring break actually, so it was really recent. There was a guy at the resort standing. I think he was like meant to be a robot or something, but he was standing on top of this like podium in the lobby, and I knew he was fake because my friends had seen him already. And then he moved, and I still got scared. How?
Oh my goodness. Well, we hope you have enjoyed these funny videos as much as we did. So stay tuned to our final segment where we discuss our pop culture moment of the week. Welcome back to Nittany Talk, There's been so many pop culture moments that have circulated our newsfeed in the past couple of weeks. One of these moments happened this past week. That is everybody gossiping. It's the return of Bridgerton Season 2. So guys, what are our feelings from the season so far?
I loved it.
I would have to agree. On
Yeah.
first glance, loved it.
Yeah, I don't binge like watch TV. I spent the whole weekend watching the show from my bed, from while I was doing the laundry. I kept it on the entire time, and each episode was like a good hour and like 8 to like 15 minutes, which I love that they gave us so much like film. And I just like consumed it all at once. I loved it. The one thing I would say is the soundtrack compared to last season wasn't as like up to date as I really was expecting.
There was definitely some notable songs, though, I will say. Like, I like Dancing on My Own was a great one that I really enjoyed. And they also did Material Girl, which I thought was an interesting, how they scaled that down to be a nice orchestra vibe. But I really loved the season as well. What did you guys think?
I think, I mean, the music is always, it's interesting, and I feel like no other show is, you know, doing their soundtracks like Bridgerton. Not to mention, I feel like when the show first came out, that's what got everybody talking in the first place, was that this show was, like, incorporating pop music in a very, like, what's the word? Like a misplaced setting.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong in these kinds of settings.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Any favorite characters for you guys or favorite plot lines from the season?
Ooh, I think I'm going to say that my favorite character is Lady Danbury.
Ooh, good choice.
Yes.
Good choice.
I don't know if a lot of people like her or not, because she is very strong charactered, and some would say she has an attitude, I guess. But I love how strong she is. I love how she's so independent.
Yeah.
She's just a strong woman. And
she's a great role model for Penn in the show, to be kind of that independent woman making it on her own. So I love that plot line for sure. I was
really
missing
like her.
Daphne and Simon, though, this season, I will say.
True. I was so happy that they incorporated like the baby from their marriage into it, because I know that was a huge like plot line from last season. I didn't realize that, because I haven't read the books, I didn't realize that the plot lines kind of switch up to a different character's point of view.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, each book follows each sibling in the Bridgerton family. So I know that the second book was kind of a fan favorite, so a lot of people were really looking forward to this season. And I think
really
it
well
lived up to
written.
this potential. I will say it did stray a bit from what the literature was like, but I think in some ways that was a really good thing.
Yeah, I think, you know what, that happens a lot with anything that gets adapted from a book. Movies, we've seen it with Divergent, The Hunger Games, and no matter how close the movies or the film in general gets to the book, there's still so much detail that can't be translated into a movie that could just be read. So I think that's where that falls.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really love Lady Danbury. I think they went into like more detail like this season about her than they had last season, because she was the one that was hosting the two girls that the whole season kind of revolved around. And she did go into depth. She was like, I'm a widow. Like, you know, they gave her character a lot more depth than we had seen last season. I really like loved that. I thought the detail was like, you know, great.
And the introduction of the Sharma sisters in the books, they weren't from India, and they weren't like, they didn't exist. And so it's kind of great that they changed that plot line to make it more culturally relevant, I would say.
I think that's also one of the things that Bridgerton does so well, is incorporating, you know, minorities and people of color into these settings that they, you know, historically would not have been in.
Yeah.
And it just makes it, you know, a little bit more interesting to watch, like a, you know, Renaissance-ish show that isn't just about, you know, a family of like rich white people.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's definitely my favorite part about Bridgerton as well. The fact that they're so diverse, and they don't, like, that also comes from the books, like they don't stick to the background of these characters because they're trying to be diverse. And I really appreciate that, because it's not historically accurate, but it doesn't have to be. It's a fiction.
The one historically accurate part I do love is the costumes, though. I love all the corsets and gowns. It really makes me want to live in that era for sure.
I thought it was so important that they added Kate's like mom's bangles into like later in the season. It was like, according to her, this is a little spoiler, but her mom had like these wedding bangles that she wore that are, you know, like traditional to her country. So I thought it was so like beautiful that they incorporated that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, if you watch really closely, you see that each family sort of has a color. Like the Bridgertons all wear pale blues and pinks, whereas kind of the Featherington family wears these bright orange and yellows, and it's kind of interesting to see. I wonder if that was a thing back then.
The Featherington plot line was crazy to me. How they brought like him over from like the Americas.
Yes, and
That
then
was
the
so
whole
interesting.
scandal trying to get
won-
them wed with the wife. I was like, oh,
Yes.
so, like, marrying your cousin. That's an interesting take for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know, historically wise,
I guess
it's
they
not
were
too
definitely
rare.
doing it.
Right, especially when it comes down to royalty and things like that. It was so common back then to be married
Yeah.
into your family because you want to keep the bloodline in the royal family.
Well,
So.
I guess that's
And
one
that's the
way
one
to go about
historically
it.
correct fact.
Well, I think with that note, that wraps up the time we have for today. Thanks for watching our show. For Nittany Talk, I'm Jacqui Clair, and we'll see you next time.